Hello, I'm Heather Metz, and I have created a inventory tracker and an on-hand inventory list, as well as a profit and loss statement to record your sales and inventory for your Color Street business. So a few things before we get started. Number one, I'm not a CPA, so if you have any questions that need to be answered by a certified accountant, I am not the person to ask. Make sure you get with your CPA to ensure that everything that you're doing within your business is following the guidelines of the IRS. The second thing is I made this for personal use. I am a Mac user, so it's made from the Numbers program. If you are not a Numbers user, I apologize. I just don't have Excel to create this any differently. The last thing that I have is I hope that you find use of this. It probably isn't perfect. I've made it for my own personal use, again, like I said, and I'm just sharing it with you guys because I spent a lot of time on it and I want everyone to get some value out of it that would like to use it. So first thing first, when you open it up, you're going to get to the instructions tab. This is going to give you a monthly to-do list, things that you need to do throughout the month, and talk to you about each tab that's within this program so that you know what each tab does. So the very first thing that you are going to want to do when you start your business or when you start out in 2020 is come to the beginning inventory tab. The only things that you will update on this tab are the things in pink. So you're going to update how many solids, glitters, designs, and French sets that you have. Now anything that costs $11 falls here. Anything that costs $13 is going to fall here. And I just don't keep track on this sheet or of inventory based off of the name, but so much the category and how much I've paid for it or how much the retail price is. It just makes everything a lot easier for my personal data records. So when you come in at the beginning of the year, you're going to write in how much inventory you have. So let's say I start the year out with 10 of each, and when I figure out how much I paid, that is going to be a little bit of a complication, and that's going to take a little bit of work for you. This is going to be the most work you probably put into this form, is figuring out how much you paid for all of those sets that you have on hand rolling forward. Now, if everything that you have in your inventory came from, let's say, your kit because you're new, you'd have 13 sets divided by 129 plus tax. So for me, the kit here is $154, and I can't remember what tax is. Let's pretend like that kit, the 129 plus tax and shipping, totaled $154, and the shipping was $10. And I'm just saying these numbers for really easy math purposes. I would do 154 minus 10. That's the shipping that I paid. And then I would do 144 divided by the 13 sets that came in my kit, and say that each set cost me $11.07. And that's what I would put here. So I would say my cost was $11.07 on each of the different spots. Now you could probably figure out and break it down on the exact amount that you paid for each set based off of how much the retail price was minus the buy three get one free, but for simplicity, this is how I do it. So I believe in your starter kit you get 2 of these and you get, I don't know, let's say 3. We want this total to be 15. So 4, what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 4. So that ends up equaling 13. So now I've got 13 sets in here. So I'm pretending like I'm a brand new stylist. This is how much I paid for each set. And this shows me, if you look at that down here at the bottom, 143.91 is what it's saying is the amount I paid, which we were talking about 154 minus 10, because $10 was my shipping cost. So that looks right. So that's the first tab that you do. Now what's going to happen is everything that I put in here is going to transfer over to my inventory tracker. My inventory tracker, we are not going to write anything on this tab. I put it in red because it has to remind you to stop and not put anything in here. Everything is black because it means it's self-populating. It's now showing that I have 13 sets on hand. I've paid $11.07 each, meaning the cost here, this column you don't even need. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to put an NA here. The retail price, I have an NA there as well. I'm going to make, every time I see an error, I have to make it pretty because I like everything to look perfect. And then So actual value on hand, I have $143.91 of product on hand, but the retail value is $161. That's because we got some freebies and the shipping, etc. But it shows that I have 13 sets on hand. I've bought 13 so far this year. Quantity on hand is 13. This all did it all by itself. So the next thing that I will do is, let's say I'm a new stylist again and I need to bulk up. I don't want just 3 solids and 4 glitters and 2 French. So you're going to come into your purchase order. This is sets that you've bought from Color Street that are being shipped to you by Color Street and going into your inventory, or you're shipping back out to a customer. So whether you've done a bulk order or you're just buying inventory to have on hand for a sale, things like that, or a vendor event, they will go in here. So I have month of purchase, and I'm keeping track of things by the month as opposed to by the exact date for simplicity, and because I couldn't figure out the formula on how to track things unless it was just one word. And so I decided to do it this way. So when I come in, every single time I make a purchase, I'm going to make a new line. So if I've filled all these up, you can just click here. It brings you to a new line. So it's January. I decided that I needed 5 more glitters and I needed 3 more designs in my inventory because I just want to have enough on hand to be able to sustain my business. And it cost me to buy 5 glitters and 3 designs. What is that? 39 plus 38, 36. Because of that buy one get one free. Woo! 39 plus 36. I'm going to pretend like I'm in a tax-free state because I want to make this really nice and easy. Cost me $75 to buy these, and I bought 8. I'm going to do 75 divided by 8. That was my cost. It cost me $9.0375. So I'm going to put that right here, 9.375. I'm also going to put it right here, 9.375, and it's rounding up for me. What's happened now is this filled in over here into my inventory. It now shows that I have 21 sets on hand. The cost has changed for the glitters and the solids because the second set, or the second batch, ended up being a little bit cheaper of sets that I purchased. Everything has changed. All on its own, everything here changed. This is why we don't touch anything here, because if you touch anything here, it screws up all the formulas and they don't link anymore. And you'll just want to continue to come in here and add what you've purchased. And this is just an example I wanted to show you how I work this. So this was an order that I placed. I had a solid, this was a design, a glitter, a design, and then a freebie, which ended up being a design. I ended up purchasing 9 sets. My total was $84.16, but 3 of that was shipping. So I'm not going to incorporate the cost for myself in shipping. I'm going to remove that out. And the reason is this cost, this $3 in shipping, goes onto your profit and loss tab right here. You're going to put in here that you paid $3 in shipping in January to Color Street. This column is your expenses. It cost you $3 to get that, so you're going to write that in here. So coming back over here to your purchase order, if I paid $9, or I paid $84.16 minus 3, I have $81.16, and I purchased 9 sets. $9.107, so round up 902 per set was my cost. That's how much it cost me. And then I would just write in here that I got 1 solid, I got 1 glitter, and 6 designs. So I would just do solid, glitter, design, 1, 1, and 7, and then at my cost, or I'd actually put the quantity here, I apologize, and the cost would be 902 right here. Once I did that, everything would update. Now once you make another order, you just click this button and this will drop down another column. All the formulas are already in there. Alright, so now I've got all this stuff in my inventory because I've bought my kit. I have some sets that I've purchased for my inventory. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sale now, right? I want to sell my product. So I'm going to come into sales. And this is open for you on if you want to record your customer's name or not. So if you want to put in there every time you sell to Sally and you want to keep track of how much Sally's bought, you could use this column. This doesn't link to anything. So if you don't want it, just come up here, click that, delete the column, and you don't have to keep track of your customer names of who you're selling to. I like to do it for reference. So if I have Sally that says, what was that set that I bought last month from you? I can go back, search her name here on this sheet, and tell her that she bought a solid or something like that. But like I said, we're only keeping track of if it's a solid glitter design, so I can't actually tell her exactly what she purchased. But I can see that Sally hasn't purchased since the last month that she purchased in, and I might want to follow up with her. So you can decide if you want to use that or not. So the first thing you want to do is click in here what month you've made the sale, what type of sale you had. So let's say I sold a glitter, and I sold 3 of them to this one customer, and then she took a freebie as well, and her freebie she took was a solid. So there we go, we've got our 4. And I'm going to record if I gave any discounts. So if you gave a discount, if you did like the buy 3 get 1 free, you have to write it in a negative number. So I took $11 off of this sale. And I also charged her $3 in shipping. And to help me recoup the taxes that I paid for that order, I'm going to collect $3 in handling fees. Now talk with your CPA, ask them if you can collect taxes or not. Once again, I'm not a CPA, so I'm not going to tell you one way or the other how to handle that situation. But if you call them handling fees, then you can put them here. If you want to change this to taxes, you can do that here, whatever your CPA recommends. So it ends up that I have this sale here. I have $36 in solids that I sold. $6 ends up being on the solid side, but really in between the two, they ended up paying $42 because they got that buy 1 get 1 free, and they had to pay tax and shipping. What then happens is your inventory tracker shows that you have now sold a glitter. Your inventories or your quantity on hand for that solid has gone down. Your quantity on hand for the glitter has gone down. And also when you go into your profit and loss, it shows how much you sold. It also shows the discount that you gave, the shipping that you collected, and everything starts working out in this column. The very last form on here is the personal and giveaway column, and you'll want to come in here if you ever have any other inventory that leaves your hand and goes into someone else's, whether it's through a giveaway, through personal use, or any other inventory adjustment. So you'll come in here, pick what month, pick the reason, or pick the product type, pick the reason, so whether it was personal use, a tester, a demo, a giveaway, you returned it back to Color Street, you traded it with someone else, or other reason, keep some notes, and all of this will also filter back into that inventory page. If you want to keep track of your customers, you can use this tab, and the very last thing is this on-hand tracker. This is where I actually keep track of what sets I have. So if any of my inventory goes from the mail to me and I haven't sold it and it's not instantly going back out, I add it on this sheet and I put it in my bucket of stock. This is something that is not linked to any other sheets, but it is something that requires you to do a little bit of legwork on keeping track and updating when we get new sets on hand. If you don't have these discontinued sets, you'd want to delete those out. So there are some things that you're going to have to modify in here, or you can just completely scratch it if you don't want to use it. But that's what I'm using, and you can just copy and paste stuff around to make it work. So that's how I use this tracker. Like I said, a lot of questions are answered here. If you have other questions, put them in the comments, and hopefully this helps you with keeping yourself organized for 2020. Have a great day. Let me know what questions you have.